Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel and welcome to the very first video of our acne series. If you're new to our channel, my name is Libby, I'm the co-founder of Splendor. There is no Este here with us today because, as I said, this is going to be an acne series and that bitch has perfect porcelain skin. No, but in all seriousness, out of the two of us, I think I'm the one that has a bit more experience and a bit more to talk on when it comes to all things acne. So you will be seeing my face for the next few videos in this series. To be honest, I was actually quite nervous to start this series because I've actually never spoken to anyone about my acne journey or shared it to anyone, let alone go on camera on YouTube to let the world know. This is going to be quite new for me, but I hope you can find some inspiration from it. And I guess I'm starting this series and sharing all of these videos related to acne in hopes that it can give someone else who's going through the same thing that little bit of a confidence boost and encouragement to talk about acne openly, because it's actually such a normal thing than people make it out to be. But anyway, I guess in today's video, I just wanted to share my personal story and journey with acne, how it all started for me, what I've been doing to deal with it, and how I've improved it over the years. So if you're interested in hearing my story, strap in, grab a cup of tea and keep watching. So acne for me started when I was in year 8 to 9, so when I was about 13 to 14 years old. I had non-problematic skin up until then, which actually is quite normal for most teenagers going through puberty. I got my period quite young when I was in year 7, so I was 12 to 13 years old, and shortly after that I experienced acne. I think it was in year 8 when my face kind of blew up and I had so much acne on my forehead and my temples. I was very insecure and embarrassed about it. I remember my mum taking me to a facial and the lady literally popped every single pimple on my face and it was just so excruciating and so painful. The aftermath was just like scabs everywhere. I was too embarrassed to go to school. I didn't go to school for like 2 days after that until it all healed. All of the extractions removed my acne. It definitely helped, but it was just very, very painful and I was very traumatized. It was just a one-off thing. Like after that, I think 2-month period, my skin kind of went back to normal, and ever since then I just had like a few breakouts here and there, but nothing too crazy. I think that was just like my peak puberty period. I think throughout high school, I was always self-conscious about my skin and how uneven my skin tone was, the texture that I had, to the point where I had to wear makeup to school. Like it was non-negotiable. Bronzer and mascara at the minimum. And that was pretty much throughout the rest of high school. Then going to uni, my skin was still the same. I had a few breakouts here and there, but nothing too crazy. I really started getting into my fitness. So I would go to the gym almost every single day. Even when I had like 8 AM uni classes, I would wake up, go to the gym before those 8 AM classes. I was just obsessed with getting abs and I just wanted to look skinny. All I ate was salads. Now that I look back, I do think that I really suppressed my body from eating the foods that it needed and the nutrients that my body needed. I was so afraid of carbs, so afraid of fats. If I could go back and talk to my 17 or 18-year-old self, I would say, eat your carbs, eat your good fats, you need them. It's not all about having a protein shake and that's it. Around this time, I also started getting a lot of acne, like more pimples on my back than on my face, and also like white dots or white patches. It was almost like discoloration on my back. I went to see a GP about it and I remember him saying it was like a fungal infection that formed when you don't have enough vitamin D or exposure to the sun. So he prescribed me some antibiotics for the patchiness and also the acne, and it did help, but as soon as I finished the antibiotics, it all came back to the surface. 2017 was when I started my first full-time job. I still had on and off acne, and yes, I still wore makeup every single day to work because I was still self-conscious, and it almost felt wrong because I was working for a skincare company, and the fact that I wore makeup every day to work, I felt a lot of guilt. In my full-time job, I moved around a lot, so I traveled quite a bit. I was out at factories, in and out of the office. I flew up to Sydney every 2 weeks for 2 to 3 years straight. So I do think there was a big environmental impact that it had on my skin. But I think my diet dramatically changed at this point. I was no longer suppressing myself from foods. I started to have a better relationship with food, eating a lot more, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I was eating a lot more healthier. I was definitely eating whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I think around this time is when I started to see see more acne pop up than usual. Like prior to this, during uni, I would have a few pimples pop up here and there, but now I started to see it around my cheekbones a bit more. So I went to see a naturopath, just randomly thought I'd book in an appointment. After she asked me a bunch of questions, she was pretty adamant that the acne that I had a strong correlation with my gut health, as I think most naturopaths would think. And I just remember her coming from a very holistic approach. I kind of took all of that advice with a grain of salt. It was just like a one-off appointment because those appointments were expensive and I couldn't really support that at the time. So it was always in the back of my mind that gut health had something to do with my acne. When I quit my full-time job, it was right smack bang in the middle of COVID. I think we had our first lockdown during that time. And I started Splendor full-time. This was when we started onboarding all of our beauty brands on our website. And of course we needed to make content. And in order to make content, we needed to try a lot of products. So Este and I were trying products left, right, and center. I've never tried so many different skincare products at one time. And I think that really fucked with my skin. At the same time, again, this was peak COVID, so the stress levels were extremely high. I was eating a lot more than usual, a lot more junk food. The gyms were closed, so I couldn't exercise. I started to see my acne getting worse and worse. The worst point was in 2021 when the lower half of my face just blew up. I had so much inflamed cystic acne form on my cheekbones and my jawline. And when you have acne on the bottom half of your face, that is a huge giveaway that you have a hormonal imbalance or hormonal acne. For those who don't know, it's called hormonal acne because of the way your skin develops in response to hormonal changes in your body, especially in a rise in androgens such as testosterone. And when you have a high testosterone level, you produce more oil and sebum, which therefore clogs your pores and causes inflammation leading to acne. My face was quite inflamed. The cysts that I had were quite red as well, so it was quite noticeable. My mum was giving me shit saying, you have a skincare business, why do you have so many pimples? It looks really bad for your brand. Asian aunties were throwing me under the bus at dinners saying, why does your skin look so bad in front of everyone? Even my friends would say, oh, your skin never used to be that bad. So I think all of those comments really got to me. I was like, okay, it must be really bad. So I wanted to do something about it. Now at this point, I could have taken the easy conventional route and hopped on the pill or taken Accutane. I did not, and I still to this day have never taken the pill or gone on Accutane. Not to say that there's something wrong with people who do take those medications. You do you. For me personally, after a lot of research and hearing from friends that when you get off those medications, your acne kind of comes back sometimes a bit worse. I guess it kind of scared me, and the thought of it coming back worse was a risk that I wasn't willing to take, or still am not willing to take. So that's why I haven't taken those medications. Ultimately, to me, it just seems like a band-aid fix, and I really wanted to get deeper and understand how to really get to the root cause of the issue. So I knew I had hormonal acne. That was obvious, and I was just curious to know how I got imbalances in the first place. The complicated thing about hormonal imbalances is that it can stem from so many different things, such as stress, your sleep, your diet, thyroid problems. So that didn't really make it any easier for me to figure out what was the actual issue. But now that I think about it, I think the two main things that caused my imbalance was my stress and my diet. The skincare products that I was using, and I guess the lack of understanding of my skin type, was just the cherry on top. So I guess knowing these things and being quite stubborn to taking medications, I was really determined to rebalance my hormones and therefore heal my skin naturally from the inside out by focusing on my gut health and my mental health. I wanted to first confirm that I did have a hormonal imbalance. From all the research, I was still quite confident that I did, but I just wanted to know for sure through science with data that I had an imbalance. So I went to my GP and requested for a blood test to check my hormone levels. And she actually said to me, your hormone levels have nothing to do with your acne. That's what she said. To be honest, I think she just couldn't be fucked giving me the test. So I was like, whatever, I will go and see someone else. I think I'm better off seeing like a hormonal specialist or something. I still haven't yet seen a hormonal specialist. The ones in Melbourne are very expensive, but until I can afford all of those sessions and be committed to seeing a hormonal specialist and taking on their advice, then that will have to wait. I definitely think it is going to be beneficial for me because they can kind of give me reassurance and I guess give me some sort of plan, because they know the exact levels of my different hormones and are able to prescribe me with the foods or herbs or whatever that my body needs. But for now, I am just being super conscious about what I eat, my habits, my training, understanding good nutrition, and I've just been going off what the rest of the acne community have trialed and errored. So the little scientist in me has trialed quite a few things over the last year to try and improve my acne. I have tried Zilch acne tablets, pantothenic acid, which is essentially vitamin B5 capsules. I have gone to do clinical treatments, which include microdermabrasions, chemical peels, skin needling. I have changed my diet, so cutting out alcohol, artificial sugars, dairy, reducing the amount of processed foods that I'm eating, taking different vitamins and supplements, which I think I need, trying to eat plant-based wherever I can. I've tried a whole bunch of pimple patches out on the market at the moment, and just really understanding my skin and listening to what it really needs. I think out of all of those things, I can say with confidence that 3 of them have actually worked and helped improve my acne. Those things are the pantothenic acid, which I will not go into detail right now because I have actually documented the whole process. I've been taking that for a few months. That's for a whole nother video. I really want to go into a lot more detail about that one, so stay tuned for that video and all of the things I have to say about pantothenic acid. The next one is changing up my diet. The major changes that I've made to my diet are eating more whole foods, more nutritionally dense foods, and pairing it with solid training in the gym to keep up my metabolism. Don't get me wrong, I am not a saint in any way. I still enjoy the occasional junk food haul here and there, and I also do have a sweet tooth, but for the most part, I have definitely improved in my diet. And skincare. I have learned to keep things a lot more simple. I think I just get really excited when I see new skincare products come out, especially with how blessed we are having so many different skincare products to try. I like to try different things at once, but I think that just freaks out my skin. So when I'm trialing a new skincare product, I would just introduce one at a time into my normal skincare routine rather than 5 at a new time, because I guess worst comes to worst, you break out from it, you know exactly what product has caused the breakouts rather than wondering which one of the 5 have. Starting this business has also kind of forced us to do a lot of research into ingredients and specific skincare products and what skin types they're best catered for. I think I automatically thought that I had oily skin because I had acne, and that is definitely not the case. You can still have acne prone skin when your skin is dry and dehydrated. It's just taken a while for me to experiment and try different products for me to realize that. I don't believe that it was just one simple thing that had improved my acne. I do believe that it was multiple things or multiple changes that needed to happen that has led my skin to where it is today. It's because all of these things are interconnected and support each other. It's like how you can't expect to get shredded or a banging body with just training weights at the gym. You need to weight train at the gym while eating well, while sleeping well, while drinking lots of water. So it's a lot of factors combined together to make something work. So it's now been roughly a year of me doing some serious research, experimentation, and investigation, and I can say that I'm quite happy with my skin at the moment. Previously, I would break out most of the time. A week before my period, the week of my period, and then the week after my period. So the only time I wouldn't have breakouts was literally that other 1 week of the month. Whereas now, I think it's been such a long time since I've gone through a whole month with very minimal breakouts and where my skin has been clear. So I know that it's a good sign and whatever I'm doing is working. Now I am definitely more open-minded about acne. My confidence levels have boosted like crazy. I'm on here today barefaced. I go out in public without makeup now. I hardly wear makeup and I'm more accepting of myself. This video is not to say that I have found a cure to acne. I still get acne, like I still get breakouts here and there, but it's nothing as severe as it was last year. I feel like I've just found a few ways to tweak my lifestyle in order to improve my skin. So that is where I'm at now. Like my skin has never looked and felt better before. Obviously, I still have a lot of pigmentation from previous acne that has left behind scarring, but that's what I need to tackle next. I'm just happy that I've learned how to control my acne and keep it at bay so that I can just move on to my next skincare concern, which is the hyperpigmentation. I just wanted to squeeze in this disclaimer that I am on my own acne journey. I know a few people may look at my photos and be like, that's nothing, I've had way worse, and I completely understand that. On the other end of the spectrum, some people may look at my photos and be like, oh my God, wow, that's a bit intense. Everyone has different confidence levels and different opinions about things, but just know that I'm just sharing my story. This is just the way I feel about my acne. So yeah, thank you so much for sticking around until the end and listening to my story. I am so excited for you guys to see the rest of the videos of this acne series where I deep dive into what I do when I break out, the skincare products that I use, my experience with pantothenic acid, my skin needling journey. There's so many more videos that I want to share in this series. I hope you guys find it insightful, inspiring, entertaining, whatever. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this particular video if you leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video and click the notification bell so you know when we upload videos next. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.